Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope everything's good wherever you guys are. Guys, smash the like button on this video. Hit the subscribe button. Guys, share the video. Guys, make sure you leave your comment as well, because obviously it helps the algorithm. So make sure that you leave your thoughts in the comment section below. As many comments. If there's 60, 70 likes, I want you guys 60, 70 comments as well. The more comments, the better. It helps the algorithm. It helps YouTube push out my channel to subscribers like yourself who like boxing. It will just help the channel grow. So yeah, I'd really appreciate if you could do that. Guys, I want to get straight into this. Tom Loffler said that Gennady Golovkin should be undefeated. He should be an undefeated fighter. He beat Canelo Alvarez twice, and Canelo Alvarez, got the decisions in the fight, so he got a draw, but Golovkin should be undefeated. And I think there's this I wouldn't say bitterness, because some people will say that it's just, but there seems like that Gennady Golovkin definitely feels that he's been hard done by. He feels that he should be undefeated. His team feel that he should be undefeated. His team feel like that what happened to him was unjust in those two fights, that he clearly won those fights and he wasn't given the decision. Now, my standing is this: I felt Golovkin won the first fight. I thought the second fight was a very close fight, that it could have gone either way, but I favored Canelo. I thought Canelo just nicked it, but we have my friend like Steven, who believes that Golovkin won both fights and Canelo got lucky. And there's many feel like that. Teddy Atlas had Canelo winning, Golovkin winning both fights, and he feels very strongly about it. He feels that Golovkin was robbed, and he said that Canelo got those decisions because of the fact that he was bad judging, corruption. Does Canelo Alvarez get decisions? Does Canelo Alvarez get decisions because of the fact that he's the cash cow and he's a guy that very marketable, and a loss on his record would be devastating? I think the fact that I honestly feel that Canelo Alvarez obviously is commercially a massive draw. The way I look at it, I think Canelo Alvarez got those decisions because of the fact that he's a commercially bigger name. But I actually felt he won the second fight. I actually felt the first fight he should have lost. But of course, Canelo Alvarez and any fighter of Canelo Alvarez's level would get favored if he's such a big star, because what you gotta realize, Canelo puts food on a lot of people's table. This is what a lot of people don't understand. This is a business. Boxing is a business, and Canelo Alvarez is a massive star. Canelo Alvarez is a business to boxing. You take away Canelo Alvarez's fights, boxing will be hurt. Imagine, it's not just the fight itself, the money that generated. It's the money generated from other businesses, like the casinos, like the hotel, people coming from Mexico, coming from all parts of the world to watch Canelo. Canelo brings a lot of business, not just from the fight itself, but other indirectly as well. This is what a lot of people don't understand. And Canelo Alvarez being hit, like for example the loss against Bivol, hurts a lot of people. This is how boxing is. This is how boxing has been for the last 20-30 years. Boxing, as much as we love the sport, at times these kind of corrupt decisions. Look at Taylor and Cattrall. Cattrall won that fight, but Taylor got that decision because Taylor is commercially the bigger draw, the bigger star. He's from Scotland. They felt that they had something going on there. Giving it to Cattrall would have been a disaster from a commercial standpoint. And this is why promoters, when people say that promoters in on it, it's not the fact that they're in on it and they're giving a brown envelope underneath the carpet, or underneath the table, sorry. it's the judges know what time it is. You know, the judges know that Canelo Alvarez is the biggest star, so the judges are favorable to him. You know, like even the Canelo Bivol fight, that wasn't a close fight. Canelo lost easily, but the judging was pretty close. That's just how it is, unfortunately. That's just the way boxing works. And generally, the more politically connected fighter seems to get the decisions. That's just how boxing works. You look at Adrian Broner when he fought Malignaggi. You know, he ended up getting Adrian Broner ended up getting the decision. Why? Because Adrian Broner is the politically connected fighter. There's only been one time where I've actually seen, and probably been other times as well, but one time that I can remember of right now is when Khan went to Peterson's backyard, fought Lamont Peterson, and I thought he won the fight, and he actually got jobbed, which was quite surprising because you would think someone of Khan's level and the fact that Khan was the money man at that point, especially in that division, the fact that you would think he'd get the decision, but actually it seemed everything was set up against him. Maybe Khan upset someone, maybe the way Khan was acting, maybe he upset a few top people and they wanted to teach him a lesson. I don't know. But the point is generally the commercially connected fighter, the politically connected fighter ends up getting the decision. Golovkin and his team feel upset. They feel hard done by. They feel that Canelo Alvarez has got some gift decisions, and Canelo Alvarez was lucky to win that second fight and get a draw in the first fight. And I do think that Golovkin won the first fight. And the second fight, I thought it was a close fight that, you know, you couldn't really say robbery. Now, if you had Golovkin winning, I haven't got a problem slightly. If a draw, I haven't got a problem. If you have Canelo winning, I don't have a problem. It's a narrative that gets pushed that Golovkin won that fight comfortably and it was a robbery. And Paulie Malignaggi said that, you know, if you gave the fight a draw, I'd say it's not a robbery. But the fact that you gave the fight to Canelo, it was a robbery. You know, Golovkin didn't lose that fight. And look, a lot of people thought that. A lot of the media thought that. Majority of the media had Golovkin winning that fight. But I just felt the more eye-catching shots, I thought Canelo was on the front foot. But again, it's what you like. You know, those two in around that time could have fought 10 times and the fight would have played out similar in the sense that it would have been close either way. But the fact that Golovkin didn't even get one win out of those two fights, I think it was a damn shame. And Golovkin feels that his legacy, Golovkin feels that his brand was hurt by that. Because Golovkin feels that his legacy, his brand... Imagine if Golovkin had won that fight, the first fight. It would have been Canelo that would have been on the back foot. It would have been Golovkin that should have probably gone on to become the star. But in the end, Canelo probably would have been a star anyway because he had such a big name. But the point I'm trying to make is Golovkin may have gone and propelled from that. His career might have taken on to another level. Now, Golovkin's ended up making a lot of money. Financially, he's very secure now. He's made a shed load of money. He's even said that this third Canelo fight will help him retire financially. I think he's got enough money to retire financially now. But the point I'm trying to make is from a legacy standpoint, people can look back at Golovkin's career and say, who did Golovkin beat? Now, if he had beaten Canelo, nobody could say that. Now, if he had genuinely got that decision in the first fight, people would not be saying who has Golovkin beat because he would have beaten Canelo. And this is where I think it's really unfair on Golovkin and where Golovkin's career is hurt, is the fact that someone like Canelo Alvarez got a decision over him, which many people feel that was unjust. And I think the fact that here's the thing, the fact that Canelo got a draw, right, against Gennady Golovkin in the first fight kind of genuinely tells you, and Canelo being the politically connected fighter kind of tells you that Canelo lost that first fight. Just the fact that he's the politically connected fighter will tell you that Canelo lost that first fight against Golovkin. And I think Golovkin kind of feels his career and his legacy has been hurt. And I think he's bitter about it. I do. I think he's bitter about it. I think he feels that this guy's a fraud. You know, he gets gift decisions. He's cheated. That's how I think Golovkin in his head thinks that about Canelo. He doesn't openly say it. He does say, Canelo says he's a fake, and he says it. And the reason why he says it because I think he believes it. I think he believes Canelo's a fake. I think he feels he's got gift decisions against me. He cheated against me, and he's a fraud. I think that's how Golovkin maybe feels. You know, Golovkin feels hard done by, and you got to understand what a lot of you don't understand is that some of you are Canelo fans, some of you don't like Canelo, but you've got to put yourself in Golovkin's shoes. Golovkin's legacy's been hurt. Golovkin, people look back at Golovkin's career and say, who did Golovkin beat? He's not even a Hall of Famer. Whereas if he had beaten Canelo, his career legacy and his path of his career may have been completely different. You know, and also the fact that Gennady Golovkin's record-breaking title defense run was, which he may have gone past Bernard Hopkins, came to an end in the second fight against Canelo, and that was stopped. You know, Gennady Golovkin didn't have more title defenses than Bernard Hopkins because Canelo beat him when a lot of people thought Golovkin should have got that fight. You know, I personally think the second fight you can make a case. I think it was a very close fight. I think the second fight you can make a case for Canelo. I don't think anyone can deny that Canelo, that was a close fight. And if Canelo getting the decision, I had no problem with it. If people wanted to call it a draw or give it to Golovkin, I have no problem with it because it was a close fight. It was a very, very nip and tuck fight that could have gone either way. I personally had Canelo nipping it. But again, everybody sees things differently. Everybody has, has a different perspective on how they saw the fight and how they viewed it. I think if you're somebody that doesn't really like Canelo, you're probably gonna say Canelo lost it. If you're a Canelo fan, you're probably gonna say Canelo won it. It's one of them. It was such a close fight. Whereas the first one was pretty like a daylight robbery, really. You know, where Canelo clearly lost the first fight, and he got a draw. So I think a lot of people are sympathizing with Golovkin, and most of the neutral boxing fans want Golovkin to win this trilogy because they feel Golovkin's been hard done by. The fact that Canelo Alvarez has got these decisions against him, a lot of people want to see Canelo Alvarez fall. They want to see Canelo Alvarez lose. They want to see Canelo lose this trilogy because they feel that justice will be done. It's a bit like the Marquez-Pacquiao fights. When Marquez knocked out Manny Pacquiao, I feel like a lot of people felt like the justice had been done, that Marquez deserved to win, some of those fights. He never got it, and then finally he knocked Pacquiao out. Justice was done, and I think a lot of boxing fans feel the same way about Golovkin and Canelo. A lot of people want Canelo Alvarez to lose this fight because they feel that justice will be done if Gennady Golovkin finally gets a win over Canelo Alvarez, which they feel that he should have got in the first and second fight. So that's my take on it. I would love to know your opinion about it. I would love to know your take because a lot of people see this very differently. Some people had Canelo winning. Some people had Golovkin winning. And both fights were so close. The first fight I thought Golovkin won, but the second fight was really close. And, it's what you like, really. It's what you like. But I'd love to know your opinion. I think what made it even worse and why people started calling the sport corrupt and saying that Canelo gets gift decisions is Adelaide Bird's card of 118, 110, which was absolutely an absurd card, and it was probably one of the most one of the most corrupt card I've ever seen. Like, what else can you say? How can you have that fight 118, 110 towards Canelo? It's crazy. It was crazy. So that's my take on it. I think corruption, we don't know if it's corruption or it's just bad officiating or they're influenced by the politics. We don't know. We don't know what's going through someone's head. But that's my take on it. I'd love to know your opinion on why you think judging at times can be so off and why the politically connected fighter seems to always get the decision. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video, guys. Take care. Peace.